So, folks, we gotta talk about the fact that Donald Trump, a man who prides himself on spectacle, a man who prides himself on being able to put together immaculate constructions and beautiful buildings, has, put on maybe one of the most underwhelming national fairs I've ever seen. Right? It is truly symbolic of his aging, decrepit brain and his falling skills that were never that great to begin with. But I want to play for you guys a compilation put together by Aaron Rupar to really hammer home what I'm talking about here, because genuinely, this is some of the funniest shit you will see ever. It's just absolutely immaculate vibes. All right. Just completely dead. It's like they're playing a fucking dirge. I can't.
Oh, that was a beautiful sight. We're kicking off a week of...
Also, they're all aware of how shitty it looks. They're broadcasting from the event, and it's completely empty behind them.
Special show celebrating America's 250th, live from the Great American Fair.
Mark, great to see you here today. There's a lot of energy down there. What's the latest?
Sandra, it sure is, and welcome.
Lot of energy down there. Just absolute lack of people. Like, what is the population? Sorry, Washington, D.C. metro population. Was that a Christmas song? No, that was My Country 'Tis of Thee. I'm sorry, there are 6.46 million residents in the D.C. metropolitan area. They can't even get people out. This is an area, so, like, you would think more people would just be wandering through it. Good God. I didn't think I would be talking about this that much, but seeing it is genuinely some of the funniest things I've been able to visually make sense of about this administration. It truly puts into perspective how deeply unpopular this administration is.
Welcome back to Washington. So good to see you personally. As you've seen yourself, there is a big energy here on the National.
This is at 1 p.m. You can see the time on screen. Oh my God, this is like peak hours. Guys, this is one picture from the Twin Cities Pride Parade. And I'm pretty sure this is more people in this picture than have ever attended this event in the multiple days. I've seen it on screen. This is truly silly how empty this is. I'm flabbergasted. Truly.
While the crowd sizes were smaller in the morning, it has picked up quite a bit. The State Fair generating a lot of headlines, and we have seen more people come to see it for themselves, including right to the Ferris wheel. You'll zoom in here and see the crowds.
Oh my God, they built these fake buildings, right? And I just put together that probably one of the reasons they built these fake buildings is to hide the fucking reflecting pool. Dog.
That are lined up for a chance to see Washington unlike any other way. But people told us this isn't about politics, but a chance to celebrate what America offers coast to coast. And this morning, 4 younger Americans put their stomachs to the test with a pancake eating contest. That's tough on any day, let alone in this kind of heat. The winner was determined by audience applause. The guy who won appeared really worried he wasn't going to be able to keep the pancakes down, but in the end, he made it.
Today, Mr. Secretary,
yeah, thanks for
inviting us.
I haven't seen the elephant food booth yet, though. I've seen the elephant sandwiches.
So each day has got a theme. Today's theme is Make America Healthy Again. And I'm wondering, how does a pancake eating contest comport with Make America?
No red food dyes, right? It's just all natural ingredients.
All natural. Eggs, milk, butter. What else do you need?
No, you know, seeing them say this hollow bullshit rhetoric in front of just an empty field is that they're all trying to pretend has so many people in it. Like, it truly reveals the emptiness of the entire foundation of this movement, this ideology they're trying to push.
Great American State Fair.
No, not gonna get me today, Fox.
Help me out. I want to be a part of this.
Well, it's a great day for Larry. Good afternoon. Perhaps now that the closing bell is here, we're going to get more people coming out here now that work is done. You mentioned...
Guys, maybe everyone's just at work. Guys, maybe everyone's just at work. They're all at work. They couldn't make it to this fair, the Great American State Fair.
The latest with Iran, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are on a flight to Qatar right now to meet after a lot of back and forth between U.S. and Iranian forces over the Strait of Hormuz and keeping that open. But here on the National Mall, not a lot of talk about Iran, as you can imagine, although, Larry, just in a few minutes behind me where the rodeo is going to start again, some people say riding a bull is a lot like dealing with Iran. You got to hang on for dear life, and you never know how it's going to go. But people we've talked to out...
What are you talking about? Some people say dealing with Iran is like riding a bull. Wait, so you mean in comparison to a normal human being, like Iran is colossally built and able to crush us at any moment? I feel like maybe this isn't the analogy you wanted to go with there, champ.
Here having a good time, very patriotic bunch, as you can imagine, seeing something a little different. And that's the National Mall turned into the Great American State Fair. And so,
God, truly, just truly silly. I mean, look at this, guys. I guess no one at the Great American Fair wants to listen to Jesus music on the mall. Just absolutely empty celebration. Like, people aren't even showing up. And speaking of, hey, let's take a look at the let's take a quick look at the arch that Donald Trump built. Specifically, if you've been seeing like what looks like a cheap paper mache arch in a lot of the footage here, that's because Donald Trump decided that as part of the celebrations, there should be a mock, to scale version, not to scale, but like scaled down version of what he wants to build in his own honor in DC. And it looks like absolute dog shit. Bless this person who decided to walk up with a camera and just film it up close. Our contractor president. I've never seen, a proposed national monument get the landlord special before it's even built. Oh my god. Immaculate shit. I'm sorry, the lone string hanging down sadly fucking destroys me. I think that's the funniest shit, dog. The symbolism of this is genuinely you couldn't write something better than this. if you wrote this into a novel, your editor would send it back to you saying it's a little bit too on the nose. This is genuinely crazy levels of literary right now. God, they couldn't even be bothered.
America hanging on by thread.
It's so thoroughly dog shit in every conceivable way. And I know that this is a relatively, in the grand scheme of things, like, this is a small thing to criticize, but it's just it's so Trump. This is what Donald Trump is. Cheap, ineffective, hollow. Like, it's truly just the barest skinnings of America. And very fucking stupid. Indeed. And, to really, you might be like, well, Jack, you're not being fair, all right? You're not being fair to Donald Trump. You can't just say someone's fucking stupid without having any evidence. That's mean. That's just really mean. And Rainbow Krampus, thank you for the membership. Here's an excerpt from a book that dropped recently. Specifically, the Maggie Haberman book with Jonathan Swan co-authoring. I'm going to just read this out loud to you guys. After they wrapped up their research, the authors sat down with Trump to check their facts. He drifted on to why his love affair with Venezuela went back to his years of owning the Miss Universe pageant, which featured many beautiful Venezuelans. What he really wanted to relate was a conversation he had had with a historian, whose verdict was that Trump was, quote, without question, the most powerful man the planet had ever known by a long way, unquote. The historian had sent Trump a 2-page memo from which he read, quote, if President Trump is the American eagle, then William the Conqueror was merely a sparrow, unquote. Curious about the identity of the historian, Swan tracked down a golf caddy in Florida who confessed a passion for history. Everything is so stupid right now. Everything is so stupid. That's sad. It's deeply sad. It's deeply sad because Donald Trump is bragging about a golf caddy and calling him a historian in order to try and impress 2 journalists who are about to drop a book that's gonna fucking shit all over his entire work and his entire career as president and political figure. But he's too dumb to know that, and he's too dumb to realize that saying something like that, they're obviously gonna check it. And now, all of this to say, of course, that when we actually get to the things that matter, the substantive issues that are happening with Donald Trump's second term here, everything is getting stupider at an ever-accelerating pace, right? Specifically, I want to point you guys towards this article published earlier today by CNN. Speaker Johnson sends bipartisan housing bill to White House, but Trump says it's a yawn. Now, this bill is supposed to help keep people in their houses, which even Republicans recognize is something of a necessity. You can't, in fact, have all your working class people unhoused. That is not particularly good for productivity. And so there has been a bipartisan bill on housing getting pushed through Congress. Both the Senate and the House have signed it. And Donald Trump said, I'm not going to sign it unless you guys add the SAVE Act to it, which, of course, amending the bill with the SAVE Act would lose all of the bipartisan support that allowed it to go through Congress in the first place, which would just kill the bill. But Donald Trump has been particularly insistent on this front, and Mike Johnson sent it to him anyway. And in response to getting this bill that, again, is designed to keep people in their homes. Donald Trump, when asked about it, said, "Big deal. It's a yawn. It's too boring to keep people in their houses. I want the torches and pitchforks now." This is like we're getting like I don't think people understand, and specifically I don't think Republicans understand that every fucking day, if you're paying attention to what Donald Trump is saying, he's effectively saying let them eat cake every day to working class Americans. Oh, they want to stay in their homes? Yawn. I'm going to go take a nap. How boring. Can't wait until they do something interesting like storm the Bastille. It's insane. It's insane. Now, the thing is that I find extra funny about this that if Donald Trump doesn't sign this bill, it does automatically become law in 10 days because Congress is still in session. And if he vetoes it, the amount of patience that Republicans in Congress have is diminishing by the day. Right? Like, he's already made a lot of enemies in the Senate by stabbing John Cornyn in the back. He has already made a lot of enemies in the House because he keeps playing around with this legislation and the things that he wants to do. And this all is just... I gotta be completely honest with you. Like, Donald Trump is just fixating, like someone who is spiraling the drain with dementia. He's fixated on certain ideas. He can't get them out of his head. And one of those ideas is the Save America Act that would have voter ID laws imposed federally, which is a non-starter for Democrats. And, you know, we can get into why that is, of course, anytime. The long and short of it is that the history of voter ID laws have been pushed exclusively by corporate interests as a way to disenfranchise the most impoverished people in the country, which traditionally have been African Americans. Though it does cut across racial lines, you know, to affect a lot of different poor folks. And the for obvious reasons, disenfranchising people generally frowned upon by Democrats. People don't like it. The fact that we're getting this close to the line on all of it, but Donald Trump can't stop obsessing about the reflecting pool. He can't even be bothered to negotiate on Iran. He is, because he's bored. He's bored of Iran now. He's talked about this openly multiple times now. He's bored of Iran. He wants to move on. And I gotta be honest, on top of all of that, he's sending out people from his administration to talk about how they are going to take away your healthcare. Right? That's what this purpose of putting Dr. Oz out there is. Look at this asshole.
Historically, Obamacare had 9 million people on it. 9 million people. This year, over 23 million people apparently signed up. But of the people who signed up, 40% never used the insurance. Let me ask you a question, John. You have health insurance. Do you use it once a year? Buy a prescription, you go visit a doctor, call somebody?
If I don't use it once a day, it's pretty infrequent.
Well, in Obamacare right now, 40% of the people ostensibly signed up never use the insurance. So it raises, again, the reality that there are many people who are signed up who are getting paid for but don't believe they have the insurance, don't know they have insurance, didn't want the insurance. And these brokers are able to make a ton of money off the American taxpayer. So, of course, the Democrats are arguing aggressively that any people who leave Obamacare is only happening because of the enhanced premium subsidies that were put in place for a short period of time during COVID by the Democrats. That's not right. The reality is we have a lot of fake people on the policies. We want them off because they don't want the insurance. They're covered elsewhere, or at least they never wanted to be in this program. If they want other...
Like, the crazy thing, I'll let him finish, then I'll get
once it's fine, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And what Secretary Kennedy announced on this video is really critical. Yeah. 1 million people with fake Social Security numbers, that's an insult to the American people. We're not going to tolerate it.
Yeah, you referenced...
So, just to be clear here, here's an article from 4 hours ago. Here is a think tank, independent source on health policy research, polling and news called KFF, right? Here we go. Affordable Care Act marketplace enrollment is down by 3 million after big jump in premium payments. Let's see. New federal data released Friday, June 26, shows ACA marketplace enrollment dropped 13% following the expiration of enhanced premium tax credits at the beginning of this year. Enrollment fell from a high of 22.1 million people in 2025 to 19.2 million people in February of 2026. Now, Dr. Oz here is sitting there trying to tell you, well, that's because people just didn't use it. And so they aren't, they clearly they didn't need it. So, and to that I have to say, the reason people have insurance isn't because they know they're going to need to use it. It's in case they have to use it. It is a contingency plan in case they get hit by a bus, because nobody is sitting there being like, I'm planning on getting diabetes. I'm planning on having heart palpitations. I'm planning on getting hit by a bus. Nobody is sitting there planning on that. The reason people have insurance, even if they don't need it, is in case something bad happens to them. It's so that they can, if there is an emergency, they can have that covered and they aren't left bankrupt. And if there isn't an emergency, they can have their preventative health care covered. So you're not spending, $10,000 on your ambulance trip to the hospital. You're not spending, $5,000 because you needed like a CT scan unexpectedly. Like this isn't hard to figure out why people might want and or need insurance. And the entire argument he's making is that, well, the people who don't use it, they're actually scammers. It's actually an evidence of fraud that people don't need to use healthcare. And the entire reason healthcare as an industry is profitable is because people pay into it when they don't need it, so that it can pay out when some people do need it. Like, it's so frustrating. And he's sitting there lying about how the insurance works. He's sitting there lying about the enrollment numbers. He's sitting there lying directly to people's faces in order to get them to clap, while the government strips healthcare from people in the millions, so that companies can get wealthier and wealthier, so that billionaires can get more and more billions. It's truly disgusting. And that is the state of the current Trump administration. Just abject horror, grotesque incompetence, a complete cratering in popularity, and all of that combined, that's exactly why Donald Trump is so desperate to get the SAVE Act passed by Congress. Because he knows his support is cratering. He knows that when he goes out on stage at the Great American State Fair and he sees practically nobody came, he knows, shit, we need to rig this election as much as we possibly can in our favor. He knows. And that's why, through the courts, through his legislation, he's been trying to get the worst shit through imaginable that will help him out and help Republicans out come the election, the election year in 2028. All that being said, you got to organize against this, folks. Republicans are projecting a lot of strength right now, but as you have been able to see from the completely empty fields behind Dr. Oz, it turns out, there's not a lot of strength there in the Republican electorate. Now more than ever, we need people organizing within their Democratic Party and within their DSA so that we can make sure that we get a government that works for working people instead of the biggest donors to the Democratic Party. Right? So join your local Dems, join your local DSA. Let's make every DSA like the New York City DSA. Let's make every one of your local Democratic branches a branch that works for working people. And we can help you make that happen. We can help you get started doing that. So join our Discord, reach out to Dragonfly for help organizing with your local Dems. She's been an organizer for years. She can help plug you in directly with your local Democratic Party, give you tips and tricks on how to navigate that and move people further to the left. And reach out to Gamergy for help joining your local DSA or getting a chapter off the ground. She has years of experience doing this. She can help you. She's helped other people in our community do that for their own local areas. We want you to get started organizing because that is the name of the game. For years, Republicans have been organizing. They organized with Moms for Liberty. They organized for school boards. They organized all the way from the bottom up to the top. And that support structure is something we need to build on the left because we need to build something that is capable of winning, not just on the local level, not just on the state level, but on the national level too. So, folks, organize, organize, organize.
Did you see Stephen Miller's crash out last week about how the electorate is changing so much against MAGA? He was on the verge of throwing things.
I haven't yet, but we will be looking at that in an upcoming segment. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And also, folks, hit the like button if you got anything out of this. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. What do you think about the emptiness of the fields, the hollowness of the accoutrement for the Great American State Fair, and, of course, the dog shit policies? Let me know in the comments what you think. And last but not least, folks, check out ImogeneOlivia.com. Gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes. Also tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks. It is comfortable, sexy, non-tucking lingerie. Check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com. Link down in the doobly-doo. Let's keep on going.
Riverboat Deck is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.